Hello, it's Mr. Horse here. Again, as always. And you know what I'm going to do. I am going to introduce another great folk rock song in the English language to you. I mean, this is probably, these 40 greatest folk rock songs in the English language, I believe they are the best in the entire universe. Entire universe. I don't think I'm exaggerating. Even if there are other intelligent beings, exist in the universe, outside of our system, outside of our galaxy, but I don't think they speak English anyway. So when I say, well, these are the best in the English language, in the entire universe, I think that is probably pretty true, unless somebody else from other planet, they also speak the same language, English. Then there might be a different story. I don't think that's nonsense. Some people think, well, they're talking nonsense. There's no other intelligent, beings. Well, how do you know? We don't know. That's something we cannot, prove. So in the case there are no other intelligent beings, beyond our, world, then yes, this is the best in the universe. If there are other beings, most likely not going to speak English. So in that case, these 40 songs are still the best 40 greatest English folk rock songs in the entire universe. Either way, it's true. So I'm pretty confident. 32. I'm going to introduce a second great, legendary Canadian guitar singer-songwriter. So Neil Young is one. Here I'm going to introduce Mr. Gordon Lightfoot. He wrote a lot of great songs. Really great songs, And he is internationally, famous. But he really, focused. Neil Young mostly really is, even though he is Canadian, he is very active. Pretty much in America mostly. You almost think of him as American, Gordon Lightfoot is much more Canadian. He really, did most of, I don't know how much, but a lot of his, concerts, in Canada. And his music, the theme, a lot of the themes are Canadian. So he's just much more Canadian, en français, in French. I hope I said it correctly. The pronunciation, I don't speak French, but en français, Canadien. So anyway, so the song. Now you can see when how my finger moves when I do the warm up. So this song is interesting. The way the version I'm playing, okay, it was written by Mr. Gordon Lightfoot, but the vocal style and also the guitar accompaniment was done by Peter, Paul, and Mary. The folk trinity of America, the folk trinity. They not only they wrote a lot of good great songs and then perform, but they also promote other younger, musicians, folk musicians, music, like John Denver, for example. They promote John Denver. They promote Bob Dylan. They promote Gordon Lightfoot. So this, is really, it was written by Gordon Lightfoot, but it was, a version a recording done by Peter, Paul, and Mary. They make the song big. And this is a great finger picking. Travis. Very, 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 intriguing. This chord. In the early morning rain, with $1 in my hand and an aching in my heart, and my pockets full of sand. I'm a long way from home, and I miss my loved ones so. In the early morning rain, with no place to go, out on runway number 9, big 707 set to go. But I'm out here on the grass, where the pavement never grows. Well, the liquor tasted good, and the women all were fast. There she goes, my friend, she's rolling down at the last. Hear the mighty engine roar, sailor silver went on high. She's away in westward bound, far above the clouds she'll fly, where the morning rain don't fall and the sun always shines. She'll be flying over my home in about 3 hours time. This old airport's got me down, there's no earthly good to me, 'cause I'm stuck here on the ground, cold and drunk as I might be. Can't John jet plane, like you can a freight train, so I best be on my way in the early morning rain. So I best be on my way in the early morning rain. So I best be on my way in the early morning rain. Like classical music, you listen to a symphony, at the very end, they gotta do that, the root chord. They always go back to the root, and I have to do that many times, Give it a big bang, so people know, hey, you know what? It's time to clap. No, I'm just joking. That's not the purpose. You gotta give it. The ending, the cadence needs to be really, really powerful. It's not like what people might be. People who don't really, really understand classical music, they pretend because it's a status thing, and then they will go to the concert and they fall asleep during, because sometimes a piece is 20 minutes long, a movement, and then they'll fall asleep. But then at the very end, this can wake you up. Boom, 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 and then you can clap. That's just a joke. I know I don't tell good joke, and that's okay. Chinese people are not that humorous. I mean, we don't. I mean, our sense of humor is different, and also it's just not as much as the Western people in terms of sense of humor. So I really don't know how to tell Western jokes. Now this song, I mean, the guitar. It's incredible. I mean, well, the thing is, if you watch there's a 1966 video recording of Peter, Paul, and Mary perform this live, and two guitars. I mean, Peter, Paul, and Mary, they have two guitars, so it sounds just incredible. I mean, I only have one guitar, but can you imagine? I mean, two guitars. Yeah, burning morning rain, the dollar in my hand, and the aching in my heart, because I am feeling empty. I'm feeling something is missing in my life. I'm all by myself. I'm alone. I'm lonely. I miss and also I don't have a relationship. I don't have a significant other, and my loved ones they are far away at my home. I mean, you have to fly 3 hours to get to my home, so that's pretty far. 3 hours to flying 3 hours. So you are just all by yourself. So aching in my heart, and my pocket full of sand. Only $1 in my hand. I mean, I'm broke. I'm lonely, and I'm drunk. Well, the liquor tasted good, liquor good. And the women all were fast. Women all were fast. Like I think probably in Los Angeles, California. All the Los Angeles probably. All the women were very fast. Now that doesn't mean they run fast. They are really fast to become really close to you. That's why they're very quick to be close to you. So that's not a good thing, and liquor tasted good. So he's drunk. In the early morning rain, with no place to go. Now this song really reminded me of, and I read about homeless people, a lot of that, nowadays, especially now in America, especially in California. I mean, so many homeless people. So this song, With No Place to Go, really reminds me of those, poor, people. They live on the streets. A lot of them suffer from mental illness, and a lot of them are working full time, but they can't afford an apartment because it's so expensive. And their big brother, their government, not taking care of them. The big brother. So that's just really sad. I mean, so this song, when I listen to it, I think about the homeless people in America. I mean, also in the world. I mean, not just America. So it pours got me down. There's no earthly good to me, 'cause I'm stuck here on the ground, cold and drunk as I might be. I can't jump a jet plane, like you can a freight train, so I best be on my way. in the early morning,